Alicia here from Terra Drift, and we recently visited all 5 Utah national parks, known as the Mighty Five for those of you that don't live here, in one epic road trip. With my parents. Yeah, my parents. Don't worry, they're outdoorsy. They can handle it, I think. I know. It's quite the undertaking though. See, while Josh and I have been to all 5 national parks before, Zion, Bryce Canyon, Capitol Reef, Canyonlands, and Arches, my parents haven't been to any of them. So now that we live in Utah, they took the opportunity, naturally, to pay us a visit and let us show them around some of our favorite places. So we picked them up at Salt Lake City International Airport and hit the road for a 10-day road trip for the ages. Yep, 10. Again, with my parents, which I totally wasn't worried about at all. Go watch our video on how not to kill your parents on a 10-day road trip. The link is here and also in the description. But anyway, if you want to plan your own Utah National Parks road trip with or without your parents, you totally should. And if you need some guidance or just want some pretty imagery to get you started, here's our route and recommendations for all 5 national parks, and then some. Because listen, Utah's got a lot of cool stuff, and it's not all in the borders of a national park. By the way, we'll link in the description to the blog post we wrote about this so you can see a handy-dandy, easily referenceable outline and more details about the route and hikes we took. You're welcome. Also, remember, lots of park employees have been laid off recently, and even more are operating in a state of limbo this summer, so be kind to rangers and park employees, be patient, and show these places and people your support before, during, and after your trip. Now, our first stop was Zion National Park, which, fun fact, was Utah's first national park. It's also one of the most popular given its drivable distance from both Salt Lake City and Las Vegas. So yeah, the park is a busy one, and for good reason. It's home to massive canyons, meandering rivers, sweeping views, rolling slick rock, and plenty of wildlife, including bighorn sheep. We camped inside the park for 2 nights at Watchman Campground, but wherever you stay, book early during the spring, summer, and fall because this park is hopping. Also, while you don't need a timed entry reservation to enter the park, most of the park isn't drivable by private vehicle, and there's limited parking at the visitor center. So if you're not camping inside the park, arrive early, like before 7:30 a.m. if you want to nab a parking spot at the visitor center so you can take the free shuttles to your preferred trailhead. As for what to do once you're there, well, enjoy the landscape. But we specifically hiked to all the Emerald Pools, up the Narrows, and all the way to the point of Angel's Landing, one of the most famous hikes in the park. Now, you do need to apply for a permit to hike Angel's Landing, which you can apply for several months in advance or the day before you want to hike it, which is how we got our permit this time. The Narrows is fun too, if you don't mind getting wet or paying $60 to rent waders and boots.
So after Zion, we headed to Bryce, where apparently it's snowing. What do you know?
Our next stop was Bryce Canyon National Park, which, controversial opinion alert, is one of, if not the best, Utah National Park. Even if it snows. My opinion, obviously. I just really love the hoodoos and the colors in the scenery. I mean, the variety of landscapes in Bryce Canyon are just awesome, and there are tons of majestic viewpoints all the way down the 18-mile park road. Again, this one's a popular park, so parking is limited. Fortunately, there's another free shuttle system that runs not only within the park, but to several free parking lots outside the park, so you can simply park and ride. Or ride in on the paved multi-use path, maybe on some e-bikes from Easy Riders. We stayed for 2 nights at Ruby's Inn RV Park and Campground because the park sites were all full. And full disclosure, Ruby's has some of the nicest campground bathrooms and showers we've ever seen. As for hiking, we can't recommend Queen's Garden and Navajo Loop highly enough. The 2.5-mile loop takes you from an epic viewpoint at the canyon's edge, down among the hoodoos, and then back up again. So good. It's a busy one, sure, but totally worth it. Then, if you're looking for something just a little different, check out the Sheep Creek Connector, which can be done as an easy out and back or as a more strenuous 4-mile Swamp Canyon loop. It was so uncrowded and very different from other areas of the park. I'm talking ponderosa pines and prairies, but yeah, also eventually hoodoos. I mean, it's Bryce. Now, when you leave Bryce for Capitol Reef, take it slow, because not only is the small town of Escalante the perfect place to stop for lunch, coffee, and supplies, we're obsessed with Utah Canyon Outdoors and Escalante Mercantile, but there are tons of trails in the area, which also happens to be in Grand Staircase Escalante National Monument. Two of our favorites are just down the road from each other. A short but scrambly 100 hands pictographs hike and the 6-mile round trip Lower Calf Creek Falls, which is pretty easy and absolutely worth the distance for the views and the variety of landscapes. It was one of our favorites of the trip. Stop 3 was Capitol Reef National Park, where we also stayed for 2 nights. Now, this may be the least visited of Utah's national parks, but that doesn't mean it's not just as worth a visit, especially since it's basically on the way from Bryce to Moab. There's a scenic drive with viewpoints, pictographs galore, and tons of picturesque hikes. The small town of Torrey even has a few cafes and other shops and attractions. But when you're ready to hike, hit up Cassidy Arch, which sees fewer crowds than some other hikes in the park, but is just as cool as anything else. And at the top, you'll get uncrowded views of a big ol' arch, plus plenty of rock to just wander around on to enjoy big views of the surrounding canyons and rock features. It's super cool. Then head to Hickman Bridge, a 1.8-mile hike that's challenging but short. The payoff is a good one, though, a massive stone bridge carved by wind, water, and, time. It's quite an impressive structure, but the journey there is just as cool thanks to desert wildflowers and tons of quirky and curious rock formations, indentations, and other structures. Once you leave and head north, make sure to make a pit stop at Goblin Valley State Park or the San Rafael Swell for a slot canyon hike in Little Wild Horse Canyon. I didn't put this one on the itinerary, so it was a surprise for my parents, and they freaking loved it. Their first slot canyon? Aww. Anyway, our final stay was in Moab, which was our base camp for exploring both Arches and Canyonlands. Now, Arches National Park is located right at the edge of the town of Moab, and the Island in the Sky district of Canyonlands is about a 30-minute drive. We stayed at the Wingate by Wyndham, by the way, which dang was nice. 100% would stay again. I mean, there was an air hockey table in the suite we stayed in. Air hockey. In any case, first we went to Canyonlands, which has never been my personal favorite Utah park, but my parents loved it. I mean, this is a truly impressive and massive canyon we're talking about here. I did ride down into it on the White Rim Road last fall, which was amazing, but we'll link to the video we did about that experience below. This time we hiked a chunk of the Neck Spring Trail, which is a 5.5-mile loop that goes partway into the canyon from the rim. It's impressive. I mean, the views are super cool and unique. If you want to hit up the next most accessible district, an hour and a half south is the Needles District, and we loved the 7-mile Salt Flat and Big Spring Canyon loop. We actually hiked that one the last time we went to Canyonlands. The trail leads you over slick rock, through riparian zones, down dirt trails, and around tons of fascinating rock formations. Finally, there was Arches, which turned out to be one of my parents' favorites. I mean, we love it too for so many reasons. The park road gives you an impressively up close and personal look at the massive rock structures. There are lookouts galore, short and longer hikes abound, and you can often walk right up to and around and through all the rock features. It's simply a stunning park. But during spring, summer, and fall, you will need a timed entry reservation to get in. Didn't get one in time? Listen, don't sweat it. Just go before 7 a.m. or after 4 p.m., which is fine because frankly, the hours before sunset may be the very best time to be at Arches, in my humble opinion. We strolled around the windows and then watched the sunset. And yes, you can scramble up and through many of the windows for spectacular photo ops. It's like a stone playground out there. Then, of course, there's Delicate Arch, which is the most photographed arch in Utah, and frankly, we understand why. We won't lie and say you'll have the whole 3-mile trail to yourself, but if you hike early in the morning or later in the evening, crowds are more than tolerable. And again, the photo ops, the scenery, it's just, Oh, and while you're in Moab, definitely explore the town and trails around it. I love Moab for its calories and vegan donuts. Doughbird, shout out. But also, the mountain biking. We didn't bring our own bikes this time, so we rented bikes and rack from Chili Pepper Bikes and took my parents to the easiest trail system we could find, which apparently wasn't easy enough.
We're not doing well, and I don't think my parents are gonna mountain bike with us again. They're gonna be okay though. Don't worry, everybody. We got a first aid kit. We're taking care of them. They're gonna be fine.
I think we had fun before that though. Yeah, maybe, right? Just me? Unclear. Listen, Utah's Mighty Five have been dubbed such for a reason. They're super impressive and inspiring, and frankly, I feel so lucky to finally live in a place where parks like these are within a day's drive, so I'm able to visit them as often as I can manage simply by loading up the car and hitting the road. Also, it makes it really special to be able to share these places with my parents. But if you're traveling from farther afield with or without your parents, get here fast and then take it slow. There are so many trails to explore and sights to experience, and 10 days is honestly the minimum in order to see all 5. But no matter how many vacation days you have, make the most of them and enjoy every moment in all of these parks. And wander on in Utah, obviously. Want to see more from this trip? Like how we stayed organized in a small SUV, or how we managed to stay sane on such a long trip with my parents? Check out these videos. Then subscribe so you don't miss upcoming reviews of ultralight backpacking gear and so much more.